Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Terrence.
What's up?
All right. It's just the two of us. I know, it's weird, right? It's two boxes. So it's just the two of us this week. Micah picked the worst week to be out, I think, in what a week I would call things that Micah likes a lot are all being announced. So let's get right into it. It might be a shorter show just because there's not a lot of news, but the big stories obviously we'll have a bigger conversation about. But there's not a lot of heavy news this week. Checked out this week. I watched first number of episodes of Apple TV's new show Criminal Record. Look, this is starring Peter Capaldi, and let me find.
I did watch the first two episodes of this. I don't necessarily remember the first episode. I do remember the end of the first episode of it.
Yeah. And Cush Jumbo. Look, the premise of this, I'll read the log line here, which is two detectives, one a seasoned veteran and the other early in her career, clash on an old murder case after an anonymous phone call draws them into it. Again, this is on Apple TV. This is the type of crime show I like. It is so good. Look, the Brits know crime. Those, as I told somebody, those snaggletooth bastards over there, they know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to crime. So relax. It's just a joke.
Is it?
I mean, put the fluoride in.
I don't know. I was about to say, do they have fluoride in their water?
I think they just started. It's like a couple generations too late. Listen, Criminal Record is really, really good. I like Peter Capaldi in The Loop and like these sort of comedic roles that he does where he's cursing a lot and insulting people, and I always enjoy him in that kind of stuff. He's a real piece of shit in this series, dude. He's amazing. As we often say, they are acting in this show. Like, there ain't no lasers in this shit. It is just people putting on serious performances. But like, Peter Capaldi's character is the older cop who had basically gotten a confession from this black man about this murder, some odd years ago, and the black man is in jail, right? And this younger black woman who is a police officer comes upon this other woman who says that black dude who's in jail was framed, basically, right? It's a false confession. And so she's trying to look into the case, but Capaldi's character is like, nah, you don't need to look into the case. That's a done deal. We're good. We got the confession. Knock it off. And then you just slowly kind of unwind his sort of corruption and like why it may not be so reasonable to think that confession was legit, and they clash, like the two cops clash, and it's really good, especially that second episode when they're in the interrogation room and they're having a conversation back and forth with each other. I was like, I want to fight Peter Capaldi. Like, like he does this thing where like the show also deals with race, and they do it in this like that subtle British way. Like, they're not calling each other he's not calling somebody a nignog or some shit like that, like right off the bat, which is a hilarious term, by the way. It's just funny. But it's this like weird subtle racism and like undercutting because she's a younger detective and like all this shit. Yeah, I just thought it was. I think it's really, really good. If you haven't watched Criminal Record, you should check it out. Like I told you, I was like, you got to watch the show. Like it feels right up your alley. What'd you think?
Like I said, I watched it late at night, so I have to go back. But the highlights that I remember was that conversation and the fact that maybe cops in London need guns.
Yeah,
because there's something that happened. I was like, I'm sitting there watching it, right? And I'm like, this ain't gonna end well for you. Why did you do that? I mean, I get it. You need to catch a man, but you're in a very enclosed space, and this nigga's pretty goddamn big.
Yeah, you should have had the blicky on you for that one. Like that was a mistake.
And it's British, so like, she got her ass kicked.
Yeah, she did.
God damn. Okay. If it was an American show, she would have fucked him up or some shit like that. I'm like,
Yeah, not in this one. Nope.
but no, it's pretty good. I got to finish it. Yeah, I watched like the first 1.5 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's British television, and they've been better at it. Like we're catching up to them as far as like television. I think.
Yeah, I think that's largely true, and I think this is only going to go 8 episodes. 8 episodes.
And that's what we're doing over in the States. Like all of our new shows, like cable shows,
8 to 10
episodes, 10 episodes. But they've been doing that for years,
right?
Way before us.
And this is a limited series, right? Like there is no season 2 or whatever. Like this story does not require dragged out 7 seasons, right? Like they got a story to tell. But I think it makes for, and we've talked about this on the show, like it makes for really compelling television because you've got I got 8 hours to tell this story. Like there's no filler episodes, Like they got to get to the shit and just like get it done, like one after the other. Every episode feels like a movie. But it ends on the 21st of next week. So
Next week. Oh.
Yeah, I'm 6 episodes into it. It's really good, man. Like it's excellent, and it does a good job of again dealing with sort of like that kind of intergenerational situation between cops, right? These like older and younger cops, false confessions, like sort of the racial injustice of the police, corrupt police.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It seems that I was gonna say it seems to be a problem all over the world. Strange.
Right. What the fuck?
And like I liked the fact that like the black woman, her husband is white in this one because like he doesn't get some of the shit. She's like, yo, he said X, and he's like, was that really that bad? And she's like, no, like you don't get it, right? Like so, like she's kind of dealing with a personal shit of that guy. He's like, look, even if I don't get it, I'm still on your team. It's like, yeah, but at the same time, like you don't really get this fundamentally. And that, like there was a moment that he said, what is it? Peter Capaldi says in the first episode, he was like, oh, you're talking about XYZ guy who got put in jail. He was like, and he just says it in the slickest fucking way he can. He goes, poor man's OJ. And I was just like, oh, I don't like the way you fucking said that shit. Like I immediately I was like, my brain was like racism, like it lit up. And then later on, she has a conversation with her husband, and she's like, he said that guy was poor man's OJ, and he was like, I mean, well, the guy did stab somebody. And she's like, yo, it's the way he said that shit. And I was like, thank you. Like I threw up a black power fist and shit. I was like, thank you. You understand? Like it was just the way it's written. Like they do a really good job of like that subtle fucking racism and shit like that. It's really, really good, man. And like somehow Peter Capaldi's character is like a real evil piece of shit to her. And then he'll be like publicly really like nice and be like, oh yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. And then like he just fucking stab her in the back again. Like, yeah, he's acting his ass off. I haven't seen Cush Jumbo in anything before, but she's very good. I'm digging her. I'm digging her performance in it as well. So, yeah, Criminal Record, man, on Apple TV. Highly recommend. Now, I definitely want to hear about this. You watch the Iron Claws, is A24's new Von Erich movie, the wrestling movie?
Yeah, Iron Claw is about the Von Erich brothers, or the family in and of itself. It's good. Like, I don't... Like, I can't really...
Can't give it away.
The plot away. Right, but...
They're a wrestling dynasty family, right?
They were wrestling. Like Fritz Von Erich was a wrestler from like the 50s and the 60s, and he had 6 sons actually.
Jesus.
Yeah, he had 6 kids, and they were all boys, and they all went into not all of them into wrestling, and it's basically about they have 4 in the movie. They left 1 out, which is one of the inconsistencies about the story. Like you haven't seen it. I want to talk about it, but I can't really talk I really can't talk about it since you haven't seen it. And you don't actually know the story of Von Erich's. What I can tell you that it's very well shot. It looks very good. The performances are great. It doesn't really focus much on the wrestling so much as the actual family itself. and the trials and tribulations that they go through. I think a lot of people were expecting a little bit more wrestling. I wasn't, because like the bigger picture with them is not necessary. Like wrestling is like the catalyst for which a lot of the things that happen to them happens. The casting was weird, I found, because what's his name? Zac Efron plays Kevin, right? Kevin, again, I can't really talk about this shit. He got too big. Like, he's huge in this fucking movie, right? He got really jacked. Him and Jeremy Allen White plays Kerry Von Erich. Now, the thing about that is Kevin and Kerry were 6'2". They're pretty tall. They're pretty big guys. Zac Efron is like 5'8". Jeremy Allen White is like 5'6",
which is the perfect
5'7".
height.
Sure. 5'7" for a wrestler. That's fucking Rey Mysterio. But okay, you know what
Rey
I'm saying.
Mysterio is not 5'7". Get out of here.
He's about 5'6", something like that. But he looks so much smaller because everybody else is so fucking big in wrestling. So they looked a little weird. Like again, Kevin Von Erich was not as big as fucking Zac Efron got to play that part. I think he went OD, and it looked like he took steroids. I'm pretty sure he took steroids. A steroid-esque body. You could tell by like just the way his body looked. I don't know if Jeremy Allen White did. I think he's
like a pretty fit dude. But what's the name? Zac Efron looks fucking huge.
Yeah, it's crazy how big he got. He doesn't really look like Kevin Von Erich. And then the other ones, it's good. I can't say nothing, but it's very good. like you don't know anything about them.
I really don't.
Yeah, I can't say anything. It's a sad fucking movie.
I mean, I'm not
pretty
surprised.
Goddamn sad.
I'm not surprised. I thought the trailers looked really good. It looks like a I guess what I'm interested in is how does it compare to something like The Wrestler, right? Which I think is a really good movie showing like the brutality of wrestling, but like it's not really focused on that. It's just sort of like you said, it's the sort of the catalyst what happens to the man. Like how does it? I mean, have you seen The Wrestler? I mean, it's probably been a long time since you've actually.
It's been a very long time. This is not The Wrestler. Again, this is a totally different story. Like the wrestling isn't the thing for the movie,
right?
It's just the catalyst for what happens to this family, and like it's about 2 hours. It's a little over 2 hours, and from what I've heard the director say, he cut some things out because like if he didn't, like he'd have a fucking theater full of people just crying their eyes out, and it would be like 2 hours and 30 minutes. So they had to condense some of the things. They like took some of them and they condensed it into one or two characters. But yeah, if you don't know anything about them, like if you don't look it up before watching it, and then once you watch it, look it up, you'll actually realize that the movie isn't really as sad as the actual events that happen in real life, which is crazy. But it's a great movie. It's a really good movie. I do recommend it. Is it nominated for anything? I don't think it got nominated.
I don't think so. No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. And the thing about that is, I don't have a problem with it not being nominated for anything.
No,
it's very good.
But it's just a good movie.
It's really, really good, but like there was just things that were better. Because there wasn't any particular performance that stood out. Besides Holt McCallany, the guy that played their father. He was very good. And if you actually look at footage of Fritz Von Erich, he kind of looked like that, which is kind of weird. But he was very good. Everybody else, they just played their parts. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
it was just the fact that they got so big to play these characters that was like the main reason. Like, God damn, nigga, what's wrong with you? Like, you went a little OD. But that was the main reason.
I mean, Zac Efron went a little OD for Baywatch. Like he got.
He should have got that. He should have got his Baywatch body. If we're being honest, like I remember what he looked like in Baywatch. He should have did that. Size. Like that size. He got way too big for this movie. he would have fit the mold more if he actually did his Baywatch body instead of this one, because he looked fucking nuts. Again, Kevin Von Erich was not that fucking big. He just wasn't. Like, he was insane.
That's wild. All right, so there you go. Yeah, I want to check out the Iron Claw. I've heard nothing but good things. So, all right, there you go. Okay, topics this week. Marvel announces the cast for the Fantastic Four. Obviously, we knew about Pedro Pascal, but now Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach have been all confirmed. They've been long rumored. We all know Vanessa Kirby from the last few Mission Impossible movies. Joseph Quinn is from Stranger Things. And Ebon Moss-Bachrach from many things, including The Bear, most recently. And obviously Pedro Pascal from everything else.
Yeah, which, look, I get it. We love Pedro Pascal. I get it.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope, look, I like Pedro Pascal. I think he's a very good actor. I'm hoping that this is a role for him to kind of disappear into. I hope that it's not a, hey, there goes Pedro Pascal again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to feel like
this comes out next year?
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that he disappears in the role. Like, people thought the same thing of what's his face, Benedict Cumberbatch, when he got cast as Doctor Strange. They were like, this is obvious. Like, this is an obvious choice. It's too easy. Blah blah blah. But like, I feel like he kind of disappears into that role. Like, I don't think of that as Benedict Cumberbatch. So it's possible, right? I mean, these guys are actors.
Yeah, it's possible.
But I think the thing is, he's everywhere.
Before, right? That's the problem that I have. Like, not problem, but I've seen this thing in like 9 different movies in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and television shows and everything else. I'm just like, I get it, and I don't know. Like, I wish Michael were here. God damn it. To kind of explain, you know, to what are his characteristics? Like, what are Reed Richards' characteristics?
So,
like, he always says he's like kind of a cocky asshole.
Yeah, he's a bit of a cocky asshole. But he's basically, you know, based on the sort of like father knows best kind of 1960s ideal, right? You know, like the dad from Leave It to Beaver type of, you know, patriarch. I mean, that's kind of his relationship with Sue, right? It's very much that. That's why Sue's younger and things like that.
Okay. And that fits because I think Vanessa Kirby is like 30.
I think she's like 12 years younger than Pedro Pascal or something like that. So they got the ages.
But that makes sense. Yeah.
Like pretty well down. And I think Pedro Pascal is him and Ebon Moss-Bachrach are, I think, like a year or two apart or something like that in age, which is good because him and Reed and Ben are like best friends, right? So they should be roughly around the same age. That makes sense. That did not work in what was that other fucking movie? The last Fantastic Four. I'm pretty sure the thing was like weirdly aged. So yeah, it does work. I look, I don't have a problem with this casting. I think it's really good. I've seen all 4 of them in things that I've liked all 4 of them in. I guess if I had to say the person that I don't know how well they're going to work is Vanessa Kirby, because I've only seen her in the Mission Impossible movies, which is the smaller roles. Like I like her in those movies, but I don't know enough of her work to say like, oh, she'd be a really good Sue. Which is not to say that she won't be. I just don't know. But I do think they're all very very good in their particular roles that I've seen them in. Joseph Quinn, for people who don't remember, he was kind of like. He was the kid who was in charge of the Hellfire Club in Stranger Things in the last season. He was just like the fucking like wild guitar kid, kind of a strange nerd, a bit into like the occult or whatever on that show as well. Like he was just like a high school kid in the 80s. But he was really good in that. Like he played that role really well. He was like a really memorable character for just like a 1-season character. So I liked him a lot in that. And then Ebon Moss-Bachrach has been killing it on The Bear. So I think he's got, like you had said a couple weeks ago, like he's got the voice. Like Yeah, I think he's going to work really well. I think he will probably be the standout character of the four of them, honestly, which is great.
Yeah. So, you said Vanessa Kirby is the one that I know fucking Pedro Pascal is an amazing actor. It's just kind of like I want to be able to see him just not as, like you said, not as Pedro Pascal, as Reed Richards. Everybody else, like I don't know who the fuck. Yeah, or do something. Like the dude playing Johnny Storm. I don't know. I've never seen this thing, so I don't know. Even moss-bachrach is he perfect. Even when they said that he was rumored to be him, like that makes perfect sense. And Vanessa Kirby, I mean, she's also a very good. She was in Hobbs and Shaw, and she was in Napoleon, the new one that came.
I definitely didn't see that. Oh, that's right. She was in Hobbs and Shaw. No, okay.
Yeah,
that's not her fault.
Whatever.
That's a paycheck. I get it. Yeah, I do think you're right though. Like he's got to disappear into that role. So people say, oh, well, he could be Reed with a beard. Nah, he got to shave the beard. He's got to look wildly different than we see him on The Last of Us and everything else. He's got to look wildly different. Get that man some contacts. He gets to wear his glasses every once in a while, but like nah, like
yeah. And Marvel doesn't fuck. I mean, again. Marvel never really fucked up on casting, so no. You gotta know that you gotta believe that they know what they're doing. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it works out. But that was the only thing I was like, that's cool. But like I've seen this nigga so much in everything.
Yeah,
every other week I see him in something. And it's kind of like, all right.
Well, it's like he's in like genre IP oversaturation, right? Like
yeah.
The Mandalorian, The Last of Us. It's like, and now Marvel movies. It's like, okay, like we got it. Like you want to make a toy out of every, like you want to make a different toy out of this guy and everything. Like I got it. Yeah, I agree. That's probably the biggest hurdle is making sure that he disappears into that role. But I thought it was a clever way that they announced it on Valentine's Day with like putting them into this this classic. Fantastic Four image. I thought that was clever. They do give away the idea that this takes place in the 1960s. The Thing is reading what looks like a recreation of a very famous Time magazine where Nixon is on the cover, which I think is like 1963, 64, something like that. And so the talk is that the movie takes place in that year, right? Like it's completely in the 60s, which I like. I mean, that's a good change of scenery. I like the idea. Like this is me personally. I like the idea of this being on a completely different universe, right? And much like clearly the X-Men are in a different universe, right? Like from what we learned at the end of the Marvels.
Oh, the Marvels. Yeah.
So just put them in a different universe, and it takes place in the 60s. And at the end of that movie, they do a universe hop or a time jump or whatever into our time and place in the regular part of the MCU, or at least intimate that that's what's happening to them. And then that way you can explain how they're fully formed and everything else, and they're already a team and all that other shit, without having to be like, well, they got lost in space in a normal time, but we never talked about them. You don't have to do all that. You could do all your own shit, and then eventually they jump into our universe, and then everybody works together, which is fine.
So
it's the easiest way to do
that. Who's their big bad?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, if it's sort of a weird alternative universe, you can have any of their same big bads that would be a normal Fantastic Four movie. You just bring all those characters along, or maybe they've only interacted with, I don't know. I still think what's the name is a good one. Do Mole Man as their first villain. They probably won't, but that's who they fought in their very first comic, right? Like, I don't know, do Mole Man, or like it can't be Doom. Doom is too big to put in as the villain from the jump, but Doom should be from their universe. Like, however they get over and the incursion happens, that Doom should be in their universe. But there is an interesting thing that happens. We'll obviously talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. There's something in that trailer that I think is shown that's not by chance. So who knows? Like, we don't really know how all these things are going to kind of mesh together, but I'm sure Kevin Feige and that team does know. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So this Fantastic Four hits theaters July 25th, 2025. And if I can help it, I will be in the United States to watch my friend have a flip out while he's watching this movie. And hopefully he won't spit on the poster like he did last Fantastic Four when he got mad.
That's still just unnecessary. That was just...
He's not a good person. I've
He's got a fucking problem.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's not well. That's not well. He would say he's fine, but well, he's not here, is he? Next up, Werewolf by Night director Michael Giacchino. I'm not Italian. Giacchino? I don't know.
Giacchino.
Yeah, let's go with Giacchino. Rumored to be in talks to helm a Midnight Suns movie. For folks who don't know, the Midnight Suns has in the past had Blade, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Werewolf by Night. Sometimes it's like Man-Thing is in there. So you could have any of those characters, all of them, or some of them. That lineup sounds pretty good to me. Also, Black Knight is probably going to be put in there just because he was in that Eternals scene, after credit scene where Blade speaks to him. So, he's got the Ebony Blade. Okay, that's fine. I liked Werewolf by Night. I thought it was a fun and unique sort of like bit of weirdness. And I don't expect this to feel like that because this was supposed to be like a weird, old school horror type of shit. Like they were doing that on purpose. But I thought it had a cool feel to it. Like that was kind of fun and weird. Also put Ghost Rider in there. Like there's talk that Ghost Rider is possible to show up. Like just have those guys show up in a Midnight Suns movie. I don't need a Ghost Rider solo movie. We've had 2 of those. Like that's enough. Those movies don't need to exist. We don't need a solo Moon Knight movie. We already got him introduced into the MCU in his like OK series. So yeah, just do that. Like let them handle all the like weird horror shit. Make it R rated and just like have fun killing monsters. Sounds great. So,
but again, there's a lot going on in the Marvel universe. How?
Yes.
When? Like, what is this supposed to be a thing? And how do you introduce these characters? Like, that's a lot, man.
It is a lot, and that's what I'm saying.
They're in a rebuilding phase right now, and like,
yeah,
I wouldn't worry about none of this right now. Why are you like?
I mean, look, I think that's actually a good point, right? Which is get your house in order first, then you start to expand, right? Like, don't start quickly expanding it. And I think that's part of what happened to them coming out of Endgame was they were like expand. And it was like, this is a lot of shit. Like, and maybe as you say that, like maybe what they should have done is couple some of the classic characters from that first saga with some of the newer characters to kind of shepherd them into the mainstream, right? Instead of just new characters after new characters after new characters. So
that's what the Marvel's tried to do. Again, it was fine.
It's fine. Yep, I agree.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. I didn't hate it, but it's fine. Like, look, somebody, our buddy Charles was talking to me today, and he was saying he just watched the Marvels, and he goes, "Yeah, like their dynamic was better than the actual story of the movie," and I was like, "That is correct." Like it was.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, their dynamic was awesome. Like it really worked. Like the 3 of them really worked well on screen. They needed a better, more compelling story to do that in. And like in a way, it might have worked better if that had been a series. Like that Miss Marvel, instead of Miss Marvel having her own series, which was good. I enjoyed it. But instead of doing that, maybe the Marvels should have been a series where you could have really seen the three of them kind of grow their dynamic together. And then by the time that's over, when they show up in the actual movies, they can really cut loose on some other stuff. And you're not spending so much time building on that. So I don't know. Again, it's easy for me to say that.
They had to rush it. Yeah, they had to rush it in the movie. I'm like, what's her name? Monica Rambeau was like mad, and then she wasn't. I was
like mad quick.
Okay, what the fuck?
Why'd you leave?
I feel like I missed something.
Right. Why'd you leave? My bad. All right, you good. Don't worry about it. Like,
right? It's like, I'm mad at you. I'm like, first of all, why? Like, because you never came back with like, I'm Captain Marvel. Nick. Like, what you want me to do? Like, I watch over galaxies. Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
You're right.
We good. Right. I'm sorry. Let's fight this broad. Like, all right. Cool.
Yeah. I agree with that. There's some parts that are a little too fast, but it's I mean, it's easy for me to say like, oh, why don't you just make it a series? Like, it's not my money. Why don't you just spend $200 million? So it's
how much they spent on the movie? Shit.
I mean,
made the money better.
Could have made it back. But yeah, I agree though. Like, get your house in order before you start expanding. But at the same time, like, this is a cool property. It's like a dark, occult property that you could have some real fun with. Like if you go back and watch Werewolf by Night, they have like when they're in that big room, they have the heads of all these monsters that they've killed over the years, right? And they show like the design of like a vampire and shit like that they see as like a major vampire in their universe, what it would look like. It was some dope ass like practical designs. Like they looked really good. I'm like, do that. Like that's the type of shit I want to see. Like do something really wild in the actual movies. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what Blade looks like. That movie it's got to come super hard, you know, like because I mean, look, I love the first Blade movie. It's great, and it still stands up in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
it's not unbeatable. Like some people talk about like it's the thing that's like no, relax. Like it's very good. It also has some of the dodgiest CGI I've ever seen.
But that was the second
Blade too. The second one is fucking.
That second one was just that fucking fight sequence at the end. I'm like. All right. People
were like, "Oh, that sequence is awesome." I'm like, "It's fun," but these niggas are like rubber band man, like jumping around. Like that shit was ridiculous. It did not look good.
The one thing that I think they Blade the 90 what was it 98, 99? When did that come out?
I want to say 98. The
one thing it's gonna have over this one is fucking Wesley Snipes. Like Wesley Snipes is a true martial artist.
Yes.
What's his name is not. So he did his own like fight sequences because he could. I know they're going to have to do a body double, and I mean, I guess he's going to train. When is this movie coming out? When is Blade coming out? Because there's been a bunch of issues with it, right?
They seem to have kind of fixed.
Keep pushing it back. They have.
Yeah. So I think things are relatively on
track.
Yeah. So that is November 7th, 2025.
Damn. So 2 years from now. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, man.
Yep.
All right. Again, I don't like shit being announced so far out. I just kind of... Because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, why? Look, it was coming out in 2026. Like, all right, nigga, it's 2024 right now. I don't really give a fuck. Tell me like 5 months before it releases.
They're like, nah, right now.
Nah, you got to know this now. Cool. All right.
You know, somebody made a fake Blade trailer with clips from Morbius. Get out of here. And Tyrese is in it? Knock it off. This is stupid. This is bullshit out of my face.
Why?
It's please stop. But I think you're dead on with that. Like you gotta just relax, let this shit work out, and then see where you are. But at the same time, as a fan, yeah, I want to see Midnight Suns because I want to see Blade and Ghost Rider fucking chop it up in the same movie. Like that should be kind of fun. And look, hire somebody who does like great action sequences. Like, look, I'm not even mad if you hire Neville, Dean, and Taylor to just do the action. Those psychopaths will fucking pull it off. You just can't let them niggas direct it, like for real.
Yeah, don't let them direct. There's the fucking second.
The second unit directors.
Yeah, second, right?
Yeah, look, because I stand by it. The action sequences in that second Ghost Rider movie were actually fun. It's the whole speaking and narrative of that movie that is fucking terrible. But like those on the road shooting that they did was fucking awesome. It looked really good.
Don't they on like rollerblades and shit?
Yeah. Hanging on motorcycles, hanging on the back of motorcycles to shoot that shit. It looked dope. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but like the talky parts are bad. Like, kind of need that, guys. Kind of need that. It was real terrible. Speaking of real terrible, director Travis Knight, who is an actual good director, is circling a new Masters of the Universe movie. For folks who don't know, that is the He-Man universe. Masters of the Universe reimagining from Mattel looks to be gaining some momentum now that Travis Knight is in final negotiations to direct. Insiders say the deal has not closed and other elements on the project still need to come together, but all signs are pointing that Knight being the top choice. Look,
He did Bumblebee, right?
Yes, he did Kubo and the Two Strings and Bumblebee. Look, Bumblebee was very good. Kubo and the Two Strings was also, I heard, very, very good as well. A Masters of the Universe movie, like, this is the best director you're going to get by far. By far. If you don't get him, this movie is fucked, right? He might be able to pull this out because he made a Transformers movie when people thought that franchise was dead. And he actually made a very good one. I don't know why they didn't have him direct the next Transformers movie, but okay.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like that movie was good. Like, what are you doing? And also, it had like the best live action. That opening sequence in Bumblebee was crazy. Like, it was crazy good. It was actually better than the opening sequence of Beast Wars or Rise of the Beast or whatever. Like, I just didn't understand that, but okay. Anyway, idiots. I think the Masters of the Universe is very silly. And I know people like it. I know that. And like I'm talking to you, Demetrius. I know that you love He-Man. This shit is very silly. It's like they made the toys first, and then they were like, we need to sell this. How do we get kids to buy this shit? And they were like, right, let's make a cartoon out of it. And the cartoons were dumb. Like, they were really dumb. They were like, we need a guy who's like a half like jacked, roided up dude, but also like a half bee. And they were like, let's just call him Buzz. It was like, all right, cool. Like, it was dumb. Like, the show was stupid. That being said, the Kevin Smith like animated series that he's done on Masters of the Universe, it's actually really fun. Like, so it's not that it can't be done, but that source material is wildly stupid. And then it got smarter over the years, like when they started adding in all the lore and shit like that. But originally, nah, it was dumb as fuck. Like, it was super dumb. But if they don't have Harry Knowles in it like he was in the other Masters of the Universe movie, why am I even watching this? I've got the key.
That is the dude that, you know, the books fell on the nigga or something.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, don't feel bad. That guy's like a real like sexual predator. So.
No, I listened to a podcast.
The podcast about him. Yeah, he was a real dirtbag, actually.
Yeah, he was, you know, hey, I'm popular because I'm able to break news, internet news. Have sex with me.
And for some reason, women were like,
no thanks.
Yuck. I can't imagine. No.
It's a weird dude.
Yeah,
but
weird.
That's what happens when you're like a fucking dork in like a straight up, just a kind of, you know, outcast.
Yep.
That doesn't really have a lot of you know. your social interactions are not very good.
Zero.
And then you become super popular. Yeah,
Exactly.
and then you become super popular, and you get power.
Yep.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, or whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah. Yo, the fact that he's taking pictures, and like pictures next to people like Sylvester Stallone and Peter Jackson and shit like that is just crazy to me. That's just absolutely crazy to me. He's an absolute fucking. He's an absolute nutcase, dude. He really is. He's a fucking weirdo.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah. Look.
Yeah, I was never a He-Man fan. Like I said, I actually went back maybe 3 years ago and watched He-Man on Netflix. It was on something. The original show. I'm like, this is the gayest show I've ever seen.
Oh, it's super gay, dude. It is. It's super gay. And look, that's not like trying to be.
I'm not trying to be fucking an asshole. I'm not being derogatory. Like, it's really gay.
No, it is.
Just is.
It's me, Prince Adam.
I was like, wow, okay.
Like, all right. Like, it's wild. Like, he's super duper gay. Like, it is a super duper gay character. But look, I'm fine with that. Like, go for it. It's okay.
I wonder if they're gonna have if they do a live action, is it going to be is
he gonna have that
woke?
That
is
little
it gonna be woke? The page boy haircut.
Yeah, the little page boy hair. Like, yeah, it's like him and Dr. Octopus. Like they decided that was the haircut for them. Very weird. Look, if it takes sort of not direct inspiration, but plays with the lore like the Kevin Smith stuff is doing, I think it could totally work. I think it could actually be really fun. I mean, there's that great line in, I think it was the second part of that series where He-Man is standing there and those like villagers are like, there's nowhere safe to hide. And he was like, yes, there is. There's one place. And they're like, where? And he's like, behind me. And then he goes and fucks people up. I was like, that's what I want. Like, that's all I want. Just get some giant dude to get out there and kick ass with a sword. That's fine. That's fine. Just make it cool, man. Just make it cool. Look, and this is nothing. I mean, this has no bearing negatively on Travis Knight. I think he's a very good director. This is the best director you're gonna get, and I mean that. Like, this dude he's punching below his weight class by doing this movie for you. Like 100%. He should be doing far better things.
God damn.
I'm serious. So if people are like, I don't know about this guy, this is the best director you're gonna get. He's a good director. Take this as a fucking sign by God that you got lucky that this guy is that into He-Man that he's willing to do this. I'm serious, man. Because look at the people you had working on Madam Web that just came out. This shit is trash. Trash.
You could tell by the trailer. Like, if you couldn't tell that movie was trash by the trailer, you don't watch movies, or you watch terrible movies. And
like
that you.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be real bad. And guess what? We were 100% correct. Like, yeah, like to the shock of no one. But yeah, it's no. This is the best. This is the best director you're gonna get. Like, by the way, the Madam Web movie had 4 screenplay writers, and then another 5 writers on that movie. 5, which is insane. 5 writers, yo. And they did movies
that's never good, right?
No, hell no. That's terrible.
One of them that wrote Morbius.
Yes, Morbius, okay. Dracula Untold, The Last Witch Hunter, and Gods of Egypt. Nigga, that is like down the ballot, the worst.
It's a murderer's row of garbage.
Yeah, it is. What the fuck is that? It's absolute trash. It's absolute trash. That's a really good title for the episode, by
the way. You're welcome. But what the fuck? What did they expect? Come on, man. Yo, what is Sony doing outside of their fucking the PlayStation, Sony Interactive Entertainment?
And those animated Spider-Man movies, yo. Like, that's it.
And even that.
I don't count
is that
that.
Really Sony? Right, I'm like, that don't count.
They don't have anything. They hand that shit over to Lord and Miller, and they're like, just please make a good movie. Just here, just take the IP. We'll just let you do it. They don't have any fucking interaction with that shit. Every time you can tell the movies that they interact and truly do, because they're all garbage. All of them are garbage. Yeah. Oh, they did The Social Network. No, they didn't. They handed that IP, that intellectual property or whatever contract over to David Fincher, and they were like, just make a good movie. And he did.
Yeah, that was the director.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Like,
you can tell when they have their hands on shit.
Even if it's mediocre, it's probably going to be pretty fucking good. Except for Alien 3.
I need to watch
that. Do you? I mean, I guess you should to complete the fucking trilogy.
Yeah.
Before it became just shenanigans.
Yes, and also I want to see what a bad David Fincher movie looks like. You know what I mean? Like I've never experienced it. Like I've just never experienced it. So I just want to know.
Did you watch Did you watch
The Killer?
What was it? Yeah, The Killer. Yeah.
I did not finish it. I need to finish it. I should have finished it last week. Damn it. But I was enjoying it. I watched it late at night, so I just didn't have a chance to finish it. But I was enjoying it. So yeah, Travis Knight, it's the best choice you're going to get. Easily. Count your fucking lucky stars for that one. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Because, look, again, if he can revitalize Transformers after 4 or 5 of those fucking shit movies, and make people excited to see Transformers again, and make them look Gen 1 and make them look really cool and stuff like that, and people have a good time with it, then he might be the guy to do this. But yeah, people thought this movie was largely just dead, like that this was just not going to happen. So the fact that you're getting somebody like Travis Knight is kind of a big deal.
Well, is it concrete? It's just circling.
Yeah, he's a top choice. My guess is if he's directing it, he may want to write it. He may want to toss the script and write it himself. Because I don't know. Let me see if he wrote. If he wrote Kubo and the Two Strings. No, he did not. But he may want to work with people that he's already worked with. I mean, you never know, right? So, it's sometimes it's hard to tell what they want to do to kind of get their hands on it. But he doesn't do any writing, but he does do producing. So maybe he wants to produce it. I don't know. Like, let's see. But he's got a movie coming out called Wildwood, which is stop motion animation. Like, so he's very much in the animated. Like, he likes animation stuff. Yeah, that's right. He did Paranorman. No, he produced Paranorman. Never mind. But yeah, like he did Paranorman. He produced Paranorman. He produced the Box Trolls. Then he did Kubo and the Two Strings. And so Bumblebee was his first live action debut.
Okay.
So yeah, he's an animator by trade. So he worked on
the son of the dude that did British Knights, that made British Knights or some shit like that? Or am I tripping?
Phil Knight.
Phil Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh, he was a co-founder of Nike, right?
But yeah, didn't that guy spin off into British Knights? Is that true?
Did it spin off, or did he do British Knights first?
British Knights were not cool. No, apparently that's not the same guy. It should have been. That should have been him. But yeah, he's one of the co-founders of Nike. Oh, so that guy has a little bit of money. Jesus Christ. Yeah, all right. Well, this guy, yeah, I guess he could just I guess I'll just be an animator, Dad. You got all the money in the world. He's like, all right, just get out there and do that. And then it turns out he's really fucking good at it. So cool. Yeah, again, it's the best choice you're going to get by far. All right. What the fuck brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. Take it away.
Let me open this up. Okay. Man, 73 is left with horrifying penile necrosis after getting 3 1-centimeter wide batteries stuck in his urethra. How do you...
China.
How do you fucking do that?
1 centimeter?
No,
Is it those like
1
little
centimeter.
ones, like the little flat ones? They go on like your hearing
1
aids.
centimeter. 1 centimeter wide. 1 centimeter is pretty small.
Must
And
be
you
a
got
hearing
3
aid
of them
battery.
stuck in your urethra. Is there going to be a picture? Yeah, there sure is. Okay.
Good.
A man lost part of his penis after shoving 3 1 centimeter wide button batteries
Good.
into his urethra. The unnamed 73-year-old from this. Oh, you said China. It's Australia. Waited 24 hours before seeking medical attention. He confessed to medics that he used the batteries for self-gratification purposes. I don't understand. How do you do that? What is that? What self-gratify? I know I've heard of sounding.
There's other ways to
also.
self-gratify, yo. Like there are, yo. Like there are, yo. Like shoving things into
like-
your penis is not. That's not it. It's not it.
Like the male G-spot is in the ass, not the penis.
Yeah, bro.
are you
Go the
doing?
other way.
Shove it up your ass if you're gonna do anything like.
Yo, don't put
Things are
batteries
crazy.
in your ass. We're not advocating that. I would just like to say I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying
Look, if you're gonna
this
put
is a
batteries
lot.
anywhere for self-gratification, don't do it to you. Don't put it in your penis.
Yo, putting batteries into your penis is crazy. Into your ass is equally bad, but like, or not equally bad. It's bad.
It's not equally bad because it'll come out.
Maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah. He confessed to the medics that the battery was self-gratification, and he never had any issues removing objects in the past.
Oh
This
my
is not
God.
the first time he's done it.
This is not his first fucking rodeo.
He's got problems sharing eye-watering details of the incident in a medical journal. Doctors told how unsuccessful attempts to fish out the 1.3 centimeter wide batteries only saw them pushed deeper down. You know what? Done. Go ahead. Like, I'm not reading the rest of this shit. Get the fuck out of here. They got him out.
That's a problem, man. That's a problem. No.
Why did you shove batteries in your penis? How big is your urethra? How much does it? That's got to be very painful.
Probably the first time, right? Like eventually, you're just kind of.
Well, people be getting like their fucking penises pierced and shit like that. Which
Nope. Like
I don't understand that at all.
I feel like eventually, if you continue doing this, is going to be really horrible. But eventually, if you keep doing this, it's like putting coins into an X-Men arcade machine, right? You're like, you're just
Like the slot just got stretched out. Like,
yeah, like
goddamn.
like yeah, you just like you're ready to press start, man. Like that's a terrible idea. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't. Just leave it the way it came, yo. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Again,
They have like the sounding was what, a metal rod? They shove it like a metal rod in your penis for something. That's what sounding is. Like, do that if you're gonna do that. Don't put little objects in there that might possibly get stuck. That's crazy.
Yo, it's like driving on a hill where you kind of like lose a little bit of air. You're like, oh shit, I can just like you feel like that's how I feel when you said that story. Like that's just. Again, yo, just go to like adamandeve.com and just buy the things for you. Just buy the things for you. Go get the professional grade shit, man. Don't.
Right, there are things specifically designed for things like this for some reason. I understand it. But hey, don't use batteries, nigga. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, don't go to Dwayne Reed and just be like, I'm gonna stock up for the weekend. Like,
I think I went to Radio Shack. Was like, I need to get some sexual devices. I was like, what are you going to use these batteries for?
like
Mind your fucking business. That's what.
Okay, I made the horrendous mistake of Googling sounding rods. Look, they make them. Hey, this one is 2 days shipping in the U.S. This is fucking crazy. No, thank you. No, thanks. No, thanks. I need fucking eye bleach. Good grief. But if that's what you want to do that. Just get the professional grade shit. Don't buy a bunch of Duracells and go to work. Like, that's crazy. Stop stealing your dad's fucking hearing aid batteries and shoving them in your penis. That's insane. My story.
Terrible. I just Googled this shit too. Like, why are they corkscrewed? Come
Thank you,
on.
yo. No, thank you. No, thanks. No, thanks. No, thanks.
Wow.
Nah. Like, oh, it feels really good. I'll never know.
No,
I'll
nigga.
never
Like,
know. I'll never know. No, thank you.
Like, I feel like as I get older, there's eventually going to be a time where I'm going to need to have a catheter inserted, and I don't even like this. I don't even like that.
I don't like to even think about having to do that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So why the fuck would you purposely do that shit?
Maybe they're preparing for the future, right? Maybe they're like Boy Scouts. You know, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. That's fucking horrifying. Dog sniffs out something unusual in passenger's luggage. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection dog sniffed out something unusual in the luggage from a traveler returning from this particular place. Mummified monkeys. The passenger returning from a visit reported that the luggage contained dried fish, but inspection revealed dead and dehydrated bodies of 4 monkeys. The traveler said that he brought the monkeys into the U.S. from his own for his own consumption. Raw and minimally processed meats from wild animals, sometimes referred to as a certain type of meat, is banned in the U.S. The potential dangers possessed by bringing this into the U.S. are real. It can carry germs that cause illnesses. So where do you think he brought these mummified monkeys from?
India. Where did the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom take place?
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's a fair guess. Nah, fuck you. It's African. They're like, what the fuck?
Is it?
Yeah, it's the fucking Democratic Republic of Congo. This dude brought some mummified monkeys. Get out of here.
I was thinking Africa, but I'm like, monkeys, Africa, that seems a little racist.
So you didn't want to say that shit. Yeah, it'd be your own people. Yeah, they refer to this as bush meat. So yeah.
Oh, that's it. Bush meat is like, it's not exactly preserved. I mean, it's mummified, but like, you know, kind of diseases in bush meat. That's how plagues start.
Yeah.
If you don't get the right shit. Never heard of bush meat.
Yeah, no thanks.
No thanks.
I'm good. Is bush meat spreading diseases in Ghana? I don't know, but probably. The answer's probably.
Yes, wild animals.
Yeah, bush meat is a collective term for meat derived from wild animals, reptiles, amphibians, and birds that live in the jungle. Bush meat comes from a variety, including monkeys, pangolins, snakes, porcupines, antelopes, elephants, and giraffes. Nah, I'm good. Isn't that what started
YouTube
COVID? Like a bat and a pangolin or some shit like that? Like
open air bush meat. I watch the YouTube channels. Like he like travels the world eating just wild shit. So his stomach is lined with fucking, lead. At this point, he could eat just about anything. He went to Africa and he had some bush meat. He got sick. He didn't die. He just got really ill because it was like I think it was a monkey. Yeah, they killed a monkey and they just took the monkey and threw it over a fire.
I'm sorry, what?
That's it. That was it. They like chopped it up, threw it over a fire, and he was like, "Yeah, this is." And he ate it.
Nah.
And I was like, I'd have been like, no. It was a white dude and he was in Africa. You don't
he didn't want to be rude.
Down a meal. He didn't want to be rude. I'd have been rude as fuck. And I'm like, you niggas are crazy. Like, I'm African American. Give me a fork. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not eating bush meat.
That's no. And before you ask, no, I would not. Like,
no.
It
was crazy. They just singed the fur and, he was like, it doesn't taste very good. But, this is what I'm here for.
No. Because, again, one of the things they say it can cause or spread is Ebola. I'm good. I'm good. No. Like, I'll eat a lot of weird foods that are prepared properly, that I know are cleaned and, like, somewhat inspected, right? Like, nah. Like they got like street food here. Like there's a lot of street food here. It depends, man. I'm like, no,
You're like a crapshoot.
No, because I'm like, it's probably a fine, but you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. And like, there's a stand not too far from my house. I want to try it. I'm gonna try the bean version first. Like, let me make sure this shit is cool. Copacetic. With the bean.
What do they sell? Tacos or
no,
burritos?
You can get tacos anywhere. They're called flautas. Like they kind of look like taquitos. They sort of look like taquitos. Or as I heard a white woman say, taquitas. Get yourself some taquitos. I was like, all right, that video was offensive, and I immediately sent it to Leonardo. Anytime someone does any fucked up Mexican cooking, I send him the videos. Toot sweet. I'm like, look what they're doing to us. Look what they did to our people, man. It's fucked up. There's certain things I'm like, bushmeat, 100%. I'm not eating that. Knock it off. No thanks. It's fucked up.
That's 50-50 chance you will get sick. Like I said, this nigga got sick.
If like the man versus food guy got sick, I'm not eating that. Nope. All right, trailers this week. Let's get through the ones we are already familiar with. The Fall Guy had a new trailer. Like we said before, this looks really fun. With Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Yeah, it looks ridiculous, but it looks like a good time. You and I had a conversation before the show started that Ryan Gosling is playing all of these roles like he played his character in Drive, but somehow it still
he just has a little bit more. He talks a lot more in the other roles. He had like 12 lines in Drive.
Yeah, but somehow this is a really great movie. But somehow him playing these roles in this like weird kind of pseudo-serious way like works, right? Like Barbie, he sort of kind of did that, and in this he's a little bit more animated, but it's still this like ultimate cool guy kind of vibe to him. But it works. It works. Some people have been suggesting him for Ghost Rider, which is interesting. And somebody asked Kevin Feige, they were like, what do you think about people, suggesting Ryan Gosling for Ghost Rider? He was like, listen, if Ryan Gosling wants to do Ghost Rider, Ryan Gosling can do Ghost Rider. And you think he's going to turn down Ryan Gosling? Fuck no. He's getting butts in the seats immediately. Like, yeah. And everybody likes Ryan Gosling, like men and women. Like, he's not just a sex symbol. People really like him as, like men like him as an action actor too. So, if he would do Ghost Rider, I'd see that shit. Hell yeah. Like, absolutely. I think he'd be fun. It's a new trailer for Kong. Is it Kong Cross or Godzilla Cross Kong? I don't know. Godzilla and Kong. The Godzilla new Empire.
I want to see it. It looks ridiculous. I watched like a 15-20 minute YouTube video of them breaking down the trailer. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in that trailer. That I was like, did y'all niggas watch every single frame of this trailer to figure all this shit out?
Yeah. I guess I have to watch Godzilla versus Kong at some point. I have long not wanted to see it because it looked really dumb to me. But at the same time, watching black people and Asian people team up to fight what I would argue is a Hotep invasion. I'm kind of
Apparently, there's Scar King is the red monkey.
Yeah,
the long arm monkey.
Yeah, he's a hotel.
And then there's another big bad that they're going to have to eventually fight also. Which, if you watch anything on YouTube, they've pretty much given away what it is. So, yeah, and apparently he's able to control this other Titan.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a 2-on-2 battle, I guess, at the end of the movie.
All right.
So look, it looks fun. It looks ridiculous as fuck, but it looks fun.
Yeah, look, I think this actually looks more fun than the last just Godzilla versus Kong. Like I think this actually looks better than that. That being said, like I just finished Monarch recently. That shit was fun. That was really fun, and the ending was great. So, like I said before, that show has no business being as good as it is. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's really weird that it exists in this same universe. But okay, like, whatever the fuck is going on, like, Kong's got an Infinity Gauntlet at this point. Yeah, sure. I mean, I need Kong to redeem himself. Because didn't Godzilla, like, hand him his ass in the last movie?
He beat the shit out of that nigga. He fucked him up. And then then Mecha Godzilla came, pulled up, and they was like, oh, we got to work as a team because this nigga got to go.
Yeah.
So they put their differences aside for a little bit to beat the Mecha Godzilla.
I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Look,
like that last action sequence was fun. It was. It was fun as hell, man. And the original, on the last one.
All right. Yeah. Look, I got to tell you, though, I think the answer of who is the king of the monsters is Godzilla. Yo. It's Godzilla. Like, Godzilla is a better kaiju. He just is. He's awesome.
Godzilla always comes out on top. He always pulls out some new shit. Like, nigga, when did you get that?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, he's got radioactive shit going on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I will eventually watch Godzilla versus Kong before I see this movie. Good grief. The standalone, as this is being reported, this is a standalone sequel to the original 1996 movie. This is Twisters. I'm mad that this is not a direct sequel. It feels like a mistake not to make it a direct sequel, but this looks fun. It's got a pretty good cast, by the way. Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, Anthony Ramos. Yeah, it's a good cast of young actors chasing tornadoes. Glenn Powell once again is playing a fucking dick.
Everything.
He's really good.
Again, he's another character. He's another actor that's in like just everything at this point.
He needs a role to disappear in, though. He does, because I think he's actually a good actor.
He's the same fucking character in almost everything I've seen.
Yeah. And look, I like him as a prick. Like, he was a prick in Top Gun, and I like that guy. I was like, yeah, all right. Like, he's the fucking dickish Iceman character. Like, I got it. And at the end, like, you're like, all right, thanks for saving the day. Like, I like that guy, but like, he's a dick. And
he was in Devotion too. I don't think he was a dick in Devotion.
Oh,
he was he was one of the good white folks because Jonathan Majors was a Negro pilot, and he didn't really treat him like shit. So good for you. One of you did the human thing of treating people with respect. So he's a hero. Wow. But yeah, this looks fun. I like a good tornado movie. I'm a fan of watching, for some reason, white people not running in the opposite direction of a fucking tornado. It's very weird. But I love the original movie. I was telling you that when the first Twister came out, that was 1996, I worked in a $1.50 movie theater, and I've seen this movie, the original movie, maybe 100 times. But it was good. It was good. It was a good time. And in this movie, there's two Twisters, two Mega Twisters. So cool. I find tornadoes to be interesting. I once saw a fire tornado, a small one. I was driving through Arizona. It was fucking terrifying. The fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, you can have like a little mini tornado, and then because it's so fucking dry there, like some brush will catch on fire, and it'll get spun up in it, and it'll actually create like a little fire tornado. It was like maybe 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. It was on the side of the road. I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like, this is insane. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my run-in with a 3-foot tornado. So you just kick it over. All right. I can't believe this is not the main trailer we're going to talk about, but Deadpool and Wolverine, we got a trailer for that at the Super Bowl. I think the question of can they? I mean, I guess we have to wait until it comes out, but like that question of can Marvel make a Deadpool movie like Fox did? Yeah, they can.
It looks like it. It looks like it's perfectly fine.
Yep,
they have no issues.
Yeah, I like that they're giving it this TVA spin, right? That's how he's getting around the universe. I like that my man Tom Wamsghan is in it. Like
I don't know who that is.
He's from Succession. That's his character from Succession. He's great. But now he's actually using his real British accent. But like they're dealing with all the TVA stuff, and obviously that connects into the Loki series and everything else. That's cool. Now the TVA uniforms, by the way, just as a side note, look a bit different than the show. So I'm wondering if this is a different TVA, if there are multiple TVAs, like there's a TVA in different universes. And that's how they're explaining this. So
I didn't finish Loki.
Oh, the second season was awesome. Like it was really, really good. It was excellent. It was actually one of their better series that they've done by far. But having Deadpool kind of traipse around the universe is pretty fun. I think that's dope. But considering that like they're showing footage from the Marvel universe from our universe, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. So we'll see. So yeah, I think it looks fun.
It looks fun. When I saw the trailer, I figured people were going to dissect the hell out of it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I just saw the TVA and him breaking the fourth wall, which he's wanted to do. But I was like, is this too much? Because I don't read comics. So like he said, I'm Marvel Jesus. I'm like,
yeah, he's.
I mean, I guess. Like, fuck, break it that much? God damn! All right, it's a little corny to me, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, he is a bit corny. Like, I mean, that's kind of the point. I'm actually surprised they didn't show more of Jackman as Wolverine.
Didn't show any of them, did they?
I mean, just
like a shadow, and then the like back of his head when he was about to pick him up. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, keep it under wraps. You know, I'm fine with that. It's the only Marvel movie this year. So comes out July 26th. Yep. This is the only one.
Oh wow. Well, good for them. Take it easy.
Take a break.
Slow it down a little. Yeah.
Yeah, take a break. And I'm cool with that. I'm very interested to see what they do. Like they show what I assume is a different Wolverine at one point. Sitting at a table, like a gambling table, which I think is probably Patch, which is kind of like a Wolverine variant, of sorts. My guess is you're going to get a number of people who have been long rumored to be the new Wolverine playing versions of Wolverine in different universes. Yeah, and which is kind of fun. Like I like that idea. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you see Daniel Radcliffe show up as a Wolverine variant. But at the end of the day, what's that? Tom Hardy. That would be cool, right? But at the end of the day, I do think they need to have who is going to play Wolverine going forward. They need to have that shit locked and loaded in this movie. Like, have their adventure or whatever, and at the end, he meets him, and it's like, oh shit, this is the guy who's Wolverine. Whoever that is. Look, I wouldn't even be mad if it was Tom Hardy, by the way. That'd be cool. Like, I think it's better than those Venom movies. Like, it'd be a better choice for his career, but it's not like he needs it. Like, how long are he going to stick around and play that role? Like, I mean, maybe when he was younger, sure, but like, pick somebody who's got, like, they got the look and everything and just fucking nail it and just be like, that's the guy. And then, like, credits. Boom. And we're done. And it's like, all right. Or even do it as a after credit scene. But probably should do it, like, in the movie. But that way it's just like, It's done. It's set. People know who, like, you've seen what Beast looks like. You know who's doing the voice of Beast, right? Kelsey Grammer. You know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the Marvels. And, you know, start to reveal who these X-Men are. And then that way people can start to put together, like, all right, I know 2 or 3 or 4 of these guys before you see them live on screen. I think that's smart money. Look, this is my favorite trailer of the week. By far, I was hyped as fuck. They nailed it. X-Men 97, the continuation of the animated cartoon. This trailer is fucking perfect, in my opinion. It is the exact right use of that series ending into, you know, bringing it into the modern age and kind of continuing the story. I think it looks awesome. What are your thoughts?
I don't remember the end of the original X-Men series. Did he die?
Last season, yeah, like his spirit went off into space or some bullshit. It was like Lilandra or something. It was pretty bad. Like, it was bad. They've changed animation teams and shit like that. It was awful.
How many seasons of the cartoon were there? I don't know. I don't know if I ever finished. I don't know if I got past the first season. I watched the cartoon. I don't remember much of it. So when everybody was super hyped, I was just like, it looks fine. I'm not one of the people that was super hyped for this, honestly.
It ran from 92 to 97.
5 seasons? Okay. 97, I was like 16. Yeah, I didn't finish the series. I'll probably watch like 2 seasons of it. The
last season was pretty bad. Like, it was pretty fucking terrible. Yeah, I
remember Morph dying in season 1.
Yes. Morph
and Wolverine and Cyclops always having beef with each other.
Of course.
That's pretty much it. That's all I remember from the cartoon and the theme song.
Yes, which they use perfectly here. Look, let's get real. The vast majority of people who know anything about the X-Men know them through this cartoon. 100%.
Yeah,
100%. This is the vast majority of people, right? I didn't really read X-Men comics. I read a bunch of other comics when I was a kid. I didn't start reading X-Men comics until after I started watching the show. Like, I was just like, all right, this shit is fucking dope. And then I started reading X-Men comics. But I wasn't into the X-Men like that before that. But, I mean, look, to start off with, Xavier is dead. They got to kind of fend for themselves. They allow, like, it's kind of interesting, right? Like, the trailer, just from a perspective of how it's done, you don't even get to hear Wolverine's voice, which is what people really wanted to hear. Like, what does it sound like? How does it work? You don't even hear it until like 56 seconds, right, into the trailer. And then from like that moment on, like, they were just like, oh, you want to see some cool shit? And then they show all these, like, you know, flashes of like pretty awesome stuff. Bishop is there. Is it Morph?
I remember Bishop.
Morph is back.
Is that Morph the bold? Whatever the fuck that is that
no. That's a different. I think that's a different character. But there's a scene where Morph is in it later on, at like when they walk into some club or whatever. But Bishop is back, which is cool. You get to see, which is the highlight of the trailer, Wolverine with Gambit on his back and Gambit lighting up his claws. Yeah, I was like, that's the money shot. And they knew when they made that shit, they were like, people are going to really like this scene. And they were like, yeah, let's fucking show it to them. And then you get to see Cyclops actually leading the X-Men and giving Xavier's line, you know, to me, my X-Men, which is just looks dope as fuck. I think it's
Avengers Assemble line.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically theirs, right? They gave Storm the Mohawk. I mean, like, the fuck else do you want? Yeah, look, everybody seems to be pretty goddamn hyped about it who enjoyed the 97 cartoon. I am equally as hyped. And this comes out March 20th, which is a nice birthday present to you and I. So that works out perfectly.
Yeah, come the day after my fucking birthday. All right. I'm gonna watch it, but again, I feel like I gotta catch up. I feel like I have to like rewatch the original because I don't remember shit. I
100% am gonna go back and watch the series. I mean, a lot of people are like, yeah, the series is like not great. I'm like, yeah, we were dumb. Like, we were dumb. Of course it's not great. It's fucking stupid. But it is really funny because, like, I quote this all the time. There's a scene in the original series where they're fighting the Sentinels, right? And there's like Master Mold is like the head of the Sentinels, right? He's like the genius Sentinel who makes other Sentinels, and like they kidnap a human, and Master Mold goes, "This is how good the writing was. Take out that," like, to paraphrase, is like, "Replace that man's brain with a computer." Like, it's like, okay, like that sounds really dumb having a robot say that. Like, it sounds dumb as shit. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, dude, I was like 14. I was like, this shit is lit. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So yeah, like, you gotta take it with a grain of salt.
92 to 97. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were 11 to 16.
Yeah, I was 11. Yeah, I was 11 to 16 years old. So by this time I was like 15. I was working at bowling alley. I wasn't watching any cartoons by that time.
Yeah,
honestly,
you were too cool for that shit.
Yeah, at that time I thought I was, but I really wasn't. I just didn't watch a lot of cartoons by the time. That's when people ask me about like cartoons from the 90s. You didn't watch this, that, and the other. I'm like, no.
Nah, nigga, I was
not
cool.
really.
Fuck out of here.
I was like, you watch Hey Arnold? When the fuck did Hey Arnold come out?
I don't know. I never watched Hey Arnold.
I don't fucking know. Oh,
I
watched Doug.
Doug funny.
Because that came on. Right. Because that was the early 90s.
Yeah, I watched Doug. Doug was good.
Hey Arnold came out in 96. 10th grade.
I never watched Hey Arnold. Yeah, I watched Doug. I watched what was it? Rocko's Modern Life, right? Like, I fucked with that. That shit was not for kids. I don't care what anybody says. It was not for kids.
For children.
No.
That was 93. I was 12.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy, not for kids. No. Yeah. So, all right. Any other parting thoughts before we get out of here?
No.
All right.
Watch the Iron Claw, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see. I don't know if I'll have a chance to watch it before next week, but I really do want to watch it. So, all right, that is it for us. We will see you guys next week.
Take it easy.